recently retired from the University of Winnipeg, as I just learned this evening, is Deborah Schnitzer, who is going to be reading, I do believe, from I Can See You Carrying the Stone Diaries. So, Deborah Schnitzer.
What an honor to be here and to bathe in the sweet, uncanny intelligence of Carol Shields. I'm going to be I'm going to be reading from the Stone Diaries, and I thought I'd frame it with an excerpt from an interview that Carol gave in March 1994. It was Public Radio Washington with Diane Rem, and she is talking about the novel, which was shortlisted for the Booker and on its way to the Pulitzer the following year. And the interviewer asked her about Daisy giving an account of her own birth. And Carol responded, yes, how can we know about our own birth and what are they like? This is a novel in which Daisy is trying to tell her own story to make sense of her life. It's a novel about biography, and how do we do this? Now, she's not really, of course, writing her autobiography. What she's doing is assembling in her head, as we all do, a kind of construction of what her life is like. Of course, there is the missing bits, I think, her birth and death, and she's filling it in imaginatively. I think, again, this is something we all do, fantasize about the missing links, or perhaps contribute a great deal of wishful thinking, of touching our autobiographies to make us look just a little bit better, or not. So this is making me see double, so I'm going to try and not see double and still hope that you can hear. Life is an endless recruiting of witnesses. It seems we need to be observed in our postures of extravagance or shame. We need attention paid to us. Our own memory is altogether too cherishing, which is the kindest thing I can say for it. Other accounts are required, other perspectives, but even so, our most important ceremonies, birth, love, and death, are secured by whomever and whatever is available. What chance, what caprice. My own birth is attended by Clarentine Flett, a woman half-crazed by menopause and loneliness and in mourning for her unlived life, who 2 months later will climb aboard a train for Winnipeg and leave her husband forever. Not because he beat her or betrayed her, but because he withheld the money. $2.50 she required in order to consult Dr. Spears about an abscessed tooth. Another witness wringing his hands most terribly and wailing loudly is Abram Godze Skutari, age 34, known locally as the Old Jew, a peddler of trinkets born in the Albanian village of Pritren, the son of a Sephardic maker and trader of nails, who was the son of a professional scribe, who was the son of a rabbi, who was the history, compiled by Skutari's Canadian grandson and later published McGill University Press, 1969, goes back to the 15th century, born of a woman famous in her region for having given birth to 28 children, all of whom lived to an old age and who paid her tribute at the time of her death, and then who quarreled viciously over her bed coverings and pots. Also present at my birth is Dr. Horton Spears, age 55, who had been hurriedly fetched by the old Jew, interrupted while taking a cup of coffee, a mid-afternoon indulgence with his wife Rosamond, who had returned buoyant from the woods north of the village with a new butterfly specimen for her collection, and who was attempting, with her spectacles sliding down her long, narrow, unlovely nose, and her book spread wide on the dining room table, to find its name and correct classification. Dr. Spears is a man of ardent sanity and tact, who possesses a rich, secret, almost feminine sensibility. And there, too, is my father, Cuyler Goodwill Young, brave-chinned, brimming with health and with gratitude for what life has so unexpectedly given him, hungry for the supper already prepared, eager for whatever tenderness the evening will bring. His small, dark face and sinewy body burst through his back door, the tune he has been whistling, dying on his lip as he falls upon this scene of chaos. His house, with its unanticipated and unbearable human crowding, a strange, sharp scent rising to his nostrils, and a rhythmic cry of lamentation. Where is this coming from? Where? These terrifying vowel signs, yay, spiraling upward and joining the derangement of linen and of air, at the center of which lies his wife. On the blood-drenched kitchen couch, its gathering cretonne cover, my mother, her mountainous body stilled, her eyes closed. Eclampsia. Dr. Spears says solemnly, pulling a sheet. No, not a sheet, but a tablecloth up over her face and staring at my father with severity. Almost certainly eclampsia. Shadows from the open door are printed upon the floor, and there lay I on the kitchen table, dragged wet from my fetal world, tiny, bundled, blind, my heartbeat contingent upon a series of vascular valves which are as fragile as the petals of flowers and not yet quite unfolded. Where, you ask, is the Malvern pudding weighted and with its ancient stone? It has been set aside, as has my mother's cookery book. They will not be seen again in the story. I am swaddled in what? A kitchen towel or something, perhaps yanked from Clarentine's Flet's clothesline, a pillow slip dried stiff and sour in the Manitoba sun. My mouth is open. A wrinkled ring of thread already seeking, demanding, and perhaps knowing at some unconscious level that the filament of matter we struggle to catch hold of at birth is going to be out of reach for me. Everyone in the tiny, crowded, hot, and evil-smelling kitchen, Mrs. Flett, the old Jew, Dr. Spears, Kyler Goodwill, has been invited to participate in a moment of history. History indeed.